Ladies and gentlemen, we are now over a week into February, and that means we are getting closer and closer to our monthly LF for this month. It'll probably come out either next week or 2 weeks from today. I'm recording this on the 8th, so the weekly reset this week in Dragon Ball Legends. It'll probably come out in, the next week or 2 weeks. We'll see when they announce their reveals and stuff, if they do, or if they're just going to release like a short video like how they did with LF17. We'll see with that. But the big news for today's release is Kefla got her Zenkai finally. They announced it in the reveals and stuff when they announced Ultra Hit, but now it's finally been put into the game. And so we're going to look at both what this means and then some of the other things they put into the game, like the new equips, some of the events, and some summon banners, and see if we can try and piece together who this month's LF might be from these things, because we may have an idea from what they've dropped. They do like to give hints on what they put in the game. So starting with our Zenkai Kefla, in terms of if you were wondering how good she is, I only have her Z3. But after watching people who went out and, spent CC to get her Z7 and all that stuff, I'd say she's okay. She's not, game-changing ultimate unit, shoots to the top now because of her Zenkai. She's okay. I would not say she's bad. They really did her dirty by not giving her cover nullification of any form. They could have done it where she gets cover null when she comes into battle, like twice or 3 times or whatever. They could have given her cover null for like a certain amount of timer counts on a green card. They didn't do any of those things, so that does hurt her. One interesting thing is Kefla does not have a cover change, but her last new unique ability shortens other allies' sub counts by 1 every time when hit with an enemy strike, blast, special move, ultimate, or awakens art while this character is on the battlefield. Activates 5 times, which is incredibly similar to what Red Pan has. So that does help Kefla when she starts getting comboed, because it shortens the sub counts of everyone else. You can sub someone who does have a cover change in to help her, because you could just sub her in and she can't cover change out of it, so she just continue getting comboed, but that shortens it so you can bring someone else in, helps out with that. And yeah, so I'd say Kefla's okay, but she is interesting. Like, the Z ability for the Zenkai they gave her, the Zenkai ability, is very interesting. It's Green Universe Rep. It's Green Universe Rep. And when you look at her Z ability, she buffs Girls and Fusion Warrior. Obviously, she came out before Universe Rep was a tag. Did she come out before Rival Universe was a tag? I believe she did. I believe she came out before Rival Universe was a tag. There's still Universe Survival Saga, but it was in its early stages, I believe. Because she came out before 2nd anniversary. Quite an old lady now at this point in the game. But Green Universe Rep is an interesting one, because when you look at the character list and we look at our list of characters from the Universe Rep, looking at the greens, there's not really anyone who sticks out like that's who she's meant to buff. Because normally with these Zenkais, they try and bring them out so that there's someone that they're meant to buff, and whether that be a unit who just came out or a unit who's going to come out in the future. We got Bergamo. I'd say Bergamo still came out too early for when Hit came out, but Bergamo was clearly made to buff Ultra Hit, since Bergamo buffs Red Rival Universe and not just Red Universe Survival Saga, because Hit wasn't from the Universe Survival Saga. And the Universe Rep tag came out like a couple days after Bergamo came out. They could have waited and made it Universe Rep. I think that would have been a far better decision. Whatever. Bergamo buffs Hit. We have not gotten a buffer for 17, which if we had gotten someone here, like say they dropped a Zenkai for... They could have dropped a Zenkai for Toppo. They could have dropped a Zenkai for Ribrianne. They could have dropped a Zenkai for Basil. Gohan. I guess maybe 18. She's a little bit newer, but, that could have worked. And they all could have just buffed Universe Rep Tag and buffed 17. They didn't do that, though. We got a green. And so the only character I'd really say you want to use from Green Universe Rep would be Golden Frieza. But even he is getting up there in age now. I believe he's almost a year old, just based on my memory here. Toppo doesn't really have it anymore. Jiren definitely is way too old now to really have too much value. Tien's a free-to-play, but he's over half a year old now, and free-to-plays just don't really have that long a shelf life. Tien wasn't necessarily amazing when he came out anyway. And then Vados also, she has a support, which always helps because your support abilities don't necessarily age like stats do for attacking characters, but she still could use more. Obviously she still has the cover change that deletes cards and heal and stuff, but I'd say Vados is lacking at this point to where she's kind of more of a liability than... You'd really only use her to pop main for the most part, I feel. That's all you'd bring her for if you were to bring her at this point. So we could be seeing a new LF Green Universe Rep character, which would make sense. They've just released the Universe Rep tag. It's the newest tag, and they've clearly been trying to buff it up to make it a solid tag to be used. We got LF Android 17, who's an insane unit. Love this man. And then we got Ultra Hit, super fun unit, and is, you know, doing pretty well right now. Both are top 5 units in the game, I'd say, right now. I think you could say that with some confidence. And so I'd say maybe we do get another Universe Rep character for February as our LF, and then they maybe move to the next tag that they decide to buff, because they try to, you know, buff tags in kind of like a clump. And this is a new tag that was really lacking before, so maybe they're going to give us another one. One sign that points to this from the new things they dropped would be the equips. Our newest equip that you can get from playing PvP. How to get, it says you can't acquire it, but you can just, every time you play a PvP match all the way through, you will get one of these at the end. Say your prayers. You can either get Strike Attack or Blast Attack, and then Strike Attack or Blast Attack again. And then slot 3's damage to androids and damage to girls for 60 timer counts. And this is for a Girl Universe Rep character. Now, Kefla is, of course, a Girl Universe Rep character, but when you just look at Girl Universe Rep characters, who are you really using besides Kefla? I guess maybe Legends devs would think, all right, the free-to-play Kefla is new, so you can use her. Maybe that would be on the Legends devs' mind. She's not very good. I would not recommend using her, but the devs like to say every new unit they bring out is good and helpful, so I could see them thinking of her. But if we take a quick look up, where's the girls? There we go. Bam. Girls Universe Rep characters. Honestly, those are the only two I could see the devs genuinely thinking you want to use. Maybe EX18 because she's new, but even then, everyone else pretty old and not very good. It's just sad. That's just kind of how it is. So I think it's definitely likely we could see a new Girls Universe Rep character. It is, of course, around the Valentine's Day window. They tend to, you know, do girl stuff. Although we have not gotten a girls LF the past 2 years during February. It was Kid Buu and Jiren, neither of which are girls. They're both bald, creepy space aliens. But this could maybe be the sign. We get a girls, our first standalone girl LF. Because, yes, there's the 18/17 tag, but it's not a standalone just 18. 17 is also there. And it doesn't buff girls either, so, which I would assume a standalone girls one probably would. I would assume if the LF is a girl, it would buff Universe Rep, girls, and then I don't know if it's a Rival Universe, maybe Rival Universe, something like that. If it's Kefla, Fusion. Don't think it's going to be Kefla, though. Like, that would be the first one that jumps to mind, though. A Girl Universe Rep, Kefla. First one that jumps to your mind. But we just got a free-to-play and a Zenkai for a Kefla. Another Kefla? I would be all for it. Don't get me wrong. I am #1 there. But just thinking from the Legends devs' point of view, I don't think it's likely. Ribrianne is in the picture of this equip, which could potentially mean Ribrianne could get an LF. That would be kind of wild if Ribrianne got an LF. I'm sure a lot of people would not be happy with that. But that wouldn't blow me away in terms of I could have never seen that coming. In terms of universe, like Tournament of Power characters that could get LFs, I could see Ribrianne being one of the higher, like one of the characters higher on that list. There are a lot of characters in that. You know, we already have UI Sign, MUI, Full Power Jiren, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. I would say Goddess Destruction Toppo deserves an LF. Kefla deserves one. Ribrianne probably would be up there because she did play a semi-major part in the Tournament of Power. She was shown for quite a while. So I know Ribrianne isn't necessarily anyone's favorite character, but I think it's something to think about. The other things in the game that could be pointing to it being a Girl Universe Rep character is these two new original series. You know, they rotate these original series in and out of the game. These aren't necessarily an indicator because before we got 17, I believe we had the ones for Full Power Frieza and for Bojack, which obviously neither of them link to LF17 in any way, shape, or form. So these are not always indicators, but the last two we had were the different Kaba original series and then the Invincible Android 17. And then we got Ultra Hit. Hit connects to Kaba, and then the 17 one made sense because they just had released LF17. So this is potentially maybe, you know, Android 18's a girl, Kaba's a Rival Universe character. This would then again make you think Kefla, though. So, don't know. And then our summons, we did not get anything new in Zenkai besides Kefla. Although, when you look at things, I mean, Kefla obviously links Universe Rep, and this could just be like the end of Universe Rep buffs, and we get something completely unrelated, which hard to guess that until we get more hints. Kefla goes away here soon, so maybe they'll put a different old Zenkai into the shop. Zenkais tends to be rather good indicators of what's to come, so maybe we'll see here real quick on what Zenkai they add into the shop. The Broly's always here. He's one of those ones that are always there. I just haven't bothered to get him to Z7. Turles is a powerful opponent. Movies character. We did just get the Ultra Rising Broly banner back. Powerful opponent, movies character. Could it be a movie powerful opponent? Possible. The only thing I see Broly really connecting to in terms of the whole universe rep idea would be Kale. Because Kale is just Broly, but Universe 6 version. Like, Kefla, I think, is supposed to be Goku in Universe 6. Cab is supposed to be Vegeta in Universe 6. And Kale is supposed to be Broly, but Universe 6. So, could it be an LF Kale? I wouldn't be against that. I could see maybe a transforming one. You start out in base, and then you transform into Berserk Kale. Berserk Kale did have that moment where she's like going crazy, shooting energy off everywhere. Jiren and Goku are like, hold up now, what's going on here? That's some crazy energy. I could see that being a moment they could turn into an LF. Same with Ribrianne, like in terms of you're thinking like what would Ribrianne do is like the moment where she turned in like a butterfly. That could probably be her LF, but I think Kale could be a possibility. The only reason, like I would put Kefla number 1 if we did not just get a new Kefla free to play and a Zenkai for Kefla. If we just gotten the Zenkai, I would still say it's possible, but the free to play really throws me off because I feel like they don't like to do that much for a specific character at one time. Could it still happen? For sure. I think I'd put Ribrianne and Kale actually above for right now. And those aren't necessarily two hype characters that I think a lot of people are wanting. But I think that could be like a good end to the Universe Rep Tag buff. With 17 hit and then one more strong LF character to give that tag like a firm baseline for at least a little while. I think that could be a really good idea. And then it would be like the first standalone girls LF, which would be cool. Because 18's with 17, so she's not a standalone. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's going to be someone Universe Rep related? Do you think it's going to be someone girls Universe Rep related? Or do you think it's just going to be someone girls? Or do you think it's going to be someone completely different, like a movie's powerful opponent, per se, with, the Broly and the Turtle Zenkai? Just kind of pointing out the things they added and what we have. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch for live streams. I'd love to see you guys over there sometime. And let's go do it. I hope y'all are staying happy and healthy, having the best days. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.